Hello and welcome back to J.P.'s Retro World. I am the man, J.P. So last time we covered the Terminator, numero uno. But today we're talking about, in my opinion, the best one of the entire series and probably one of the best science fiction action movies ever. Because it's just very, very, very well done. And of course, I'm talking about the Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So, in the first movie, Sarah Connor was able to escape the Terminator's grasp. But in this movie, we find out that she's been put away in a mental institution because nobody believes her when she tells them that, the cyborgs are coming and they're going to come and kill us all. So, the guy that plays the psychiatrist in the movie, he kind of plays an arrogant kind of buffoon anyway. And he's like, she's obviously crazy. She's talking about futuristic robots and, a cyborg war of the future. Blah, blah, blah. So they have her locked up in a mental institution. And her son, John, who is extremely troubled, is living with some foster parents. And he's kind of a rebel. He's riding around on a dirt bike with his buddy. They're stealing money from an ATM to hang out in video arcades and just goof off. And so in Terminator 2, we find out that John Connor, in the future, as an adult fighting the War of the Machines, sends one of these, a Terminator, an old version of Terminator. He reprograms it to protect John Connor, sends it into the past in the late 90s, and he's programmed to protect John Connor from a new type of Terminator, one that's made of liquid metal that can take the form of almost anything. And so he comes back and he finds John Connor, who is at that point being stalked by the T-1000 Terminator, which is played by Robert Patrick. And so they go on this thing where he's supposed to protect John Connor, so he has John Connor looking to protect him, but then John Connor's like, no, if you're saying that this future of yours is inevitable, we have to go rescue my mom. She's in a mental institution. And so he's like, that's not advisable. We need to leave now. But John Connor won't have it. He's got to save his mama. So they go to the mental institution, they break her out, they save her, and then they go out into the desert for a while, and then they go and they find the guy that programs the computer system that will make all the machines come alive and rebel against us. And Cyberdyne, I think, is the name of the company. And so they find the guy, they go to his house, they disrupt his life and scare his wife and kids. But when they tell the guy what he's about to do, he's like, oh, well, yeah, I agree. We need to destroy this and before it goes online and kills everybody. So they go to the building where they keep the computers, and he goes in to destroy the computers, but they're attacked by the police, and the T-1000 is still after them. And so they blow up the building, basically. They escape, but they escape into the steel mill. Well, the guy that they go to find, he dies in the explosion. He sacrifices himself to save humanity. And so, but the T-1000 is still after them. So they go into this steel mill once again, but where there's a lot of molten steel around. And so they go in, and this Terminator fights off the T-1000, allowing Sarah and her son to run away. But then he eventually gets his arm ripped off, and the T-1000 still is after them, and he's almost successful. But this guy comes along, and he's got this huge, big gun that blows up on impact. He fires it into the T-1000, because normally the T-1000, when you shoot bullets into it, it just goes, and it just heals immediately. But no, he has this big gun that blows up And so then Sarah Connor takes a shotgun, shoots him, and he goes over into the railing into this molten metal. Finally, that kills him. But then Schwarzenegger, his character, who's gotten close to John Connor at this point, he tells John, there's one more chip that has to be destroyed, and it's in me. So John's like, no, I order you not to kill yourself. Please don't do it. And so he's like, it has to be this way. So he sacrifices himself to save John Connor once again. And and I'm not really doing this movie justice, because as far as action movies go, that's where it's at, right there. Action, science fiction, this is like a complete package right here. The Terminator 2, Judgment Day, I've got it on Blu-ray. Awesome special effects, great script, great story, just amazing. And James Cameron, once again, good job. Okay, well, like I said, that didn't really do that movie any justice, because it's just an amazing movie, and I can't stress it enough how awesome that movie is. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. By the way, do you like my shirt? It's got all the Mario characters on it. At one point, I want to cover some like old school like video game stuff on this channel, like original Nintendo stuff, and possibly some PlayStation stuff. Anyway, but that's in the future. I'm also gonna keep going on with the wrestling stuff. In fact, I was at Walmart today, and I saw one of the WWE Superstars figures. It was the $1 Million Man. These are the ones that's supposed to resemble the old Remco AWA figures, which the $1 Million Man, it was cool. It comes with a green tuxedo that you can take off and on and stuff, but it was $20. That's a little too much. That's okay. I don't need to spend that kind of money on things like that. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you'll join me for the next one, which will be Terminator 3. So, if you're new, as usual, just go ahead and click the like button. I can't talk today. Click the subscribe, and I will see you next time.